All right, everyone. Well, welcome, welcome. Today, we are going to be going over part of what we're calling launch profitable cohorts. Um, and this is by also leveraging technology and so much more. And it's not just cohorts. For those of you coming in wondering, is this for me? I don't know that I want to do a cohort. What we're going to be showing you is a way to bring in people via webinar like we did. So we're actually doing what we are teaching again, promoting a webinar you're going to teach whatever it is that you are an expert, knowledgeable, have this desire, passion to share with the world. You'll give a glimpse of it in a webinar, right? And then from there, that would be the one during that webinar, you would then sell your either group coaching program or your cohort. And there's many ways to do this. We're going to show you a cohort way that we've done it with a course. And it's going to be really exciting, but I want you to think with an open mind because there's so many different ways to use what we're going to show you. There's ways to do this with bringing in a product, hosting a webinar on a product or service, and then offering a really great offer to bring in people to grow together or into a course. So I'm going to share everything that I've done so far to get here and what many of our clients have done up until now. So okay. So a couple things. Just keep keep muted during the webinar. We are recording this and we are going to be sending this out to everyone who did not attend, and you'll also get this if you attended. So and it's always good to keep your cameras on. You're more committed to learning when the cameras are on. It actually has been proven scientifically that when your camera's on and you're present versus if the camera's off, it's so easy to go do all these other things. So make sure to keep your cameras on. Wonderful. I see them coming on. You get to see all of your beautiful faces, especially when I put on my glasses, right? And then go ahead and send any questions through the chat so that my team, either if it's something that they need to answer right now, they'll do it. But if not, I'll get to all the questions afterwards. Okay. So in a sense, we're calling this the coaching revolution. And the thing is that many people are doing group cohorts and group coaching, but more people, more coaches, more entrepreneurs, more practitioners are still doing the one-to-one. I talk to and see so many people going through burnout, getting overwhelmed. They've reached the ceiling of the income that they can create because of the one-to-one model. And so this is a way to either continue to have that one-to-one and then add on like a group coaching, or to completely transition and then have your one-on-ones more of a VIP type of a way of coaching. And so really the way I look at it, and you're going to see these three words throughout here. My three pillars for everything I do in business is around impact, income, and freedom. And so I want to help you be able to maximize your income if that is your goal, or maximize your impact. I realized a long time ago that me doing the one-to-one model, I was depressed because I wasn't reaching out to the numbers of people that I wanted to reach to. I didn't have the influence and the impact that I knew deep down inside I could have. And I didn't have that much of the freedom because I was tied to my business. And we're going to show you how to create that. And yeah, so prepare yourselves because we're going to go over a lot today. Okay, so here are some of the things that we're going to go over. We're going to go over the power of cohorts and group coaching. We're going to go over some mindset. I always start with mindset, and coming from working with a lot of entrepreneurs and especially startups, or just it's one of the things that gets in the way. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about how to get clarity on your offer and your audience. We're going to talk about our 100K webinar funnel strategy. And when I say 100K, that is the minimum. I mean, you can do so much more. And we're either talking about it being at least 100K in a year by doing a few cohorts during the year. It could be that easy. We're going to talk about leveraging technology. I'll talk a little bit about leveraging outsourcing and VAs. I'll talk about some marketing strategies, how to structure cohorts, a founder's launch, and action steps. It's a lot, so I hope we can cover it all. If we can't, I will do a follow-up and get that to everyone. But I promise you that you will get all of that. So a little bit about me. My name is Sherez Rodriguez. I have I've been working with businesses, running businesses, management for 30 years now. At the young age of 20, 19 going on 20, I got recruited into a law practice. And I was one of those people that just saw systems, I saw processes, and I just saw how I could like speed up things. And from that age, I started doing things in this law practice that they'd never done before. And the next thing you knew, no, one of the lawyers who had already had a business somewhere else said, I need you to come with me. I was 20 years old and we're going to start a law firm and I need you to like do it. I need you to set it up and do all this stuff. And I was just like, okay, I was one of those that like nothing stopped me. Of course I could do that. Sure. From back then, I'm 50 years old now, from then having that, getting our first big clunky computer screen that was like DOS and all that kind of stuff, to learning how to do that. And so technology was not something that ever scared me. And also just, management and efficiencies, it drove me crazy. One of my values is time and freedom. I really value time. So it drove me crazy that I would have to be doing all this manual stuff when clients needed me. I had clients to help resolve their legal cases. Why am I doing all this other stuff? And so that evolved into a long-term career. And then in 2004, which has been, 20 years now, actually late 2003, but 2004 officially, I launched a consulting and outsourcing business. And I've been doing it ever since. And I've had the pleasure of working with multiple seven-figure businesses, multiple, types of organizations, from legal to pharmaceutical to healthcare to surgery centers to networking companies, like all sorts of stuff, to help them put in the systems and processes they need. But more importantly, I found my joy when I really started to shift out of that. I burnt out. That's the one-on-one model, and I burnt out. And I love, I'm a purpose-driven entrepreneur, meaning I do things also very about social impact. And I really didn't feel like I was having the impact that I wanted to. And so I started working with startups, and I quickly realized, oh my gosh, like I know all these things that I've known, and a lot of people didn't know a lot of the things that I knew, that I had grown to learn. And so it really created a fire in me to want to share these things. And sometimes I come off really, really hard because I really believe that everybody could do this. And then I just, I know that there's so much more. And I really, this is this is my life. This is my purpose, is to really help you all really do the things that really inspire you and drive your purpose in life. All right. So again, going back to impact and income and freedom, these are my boys. This is a recent picture of us. I was a single mom. And so that's what pushed me into starting a business. It wasn't, I always knew I was entrepreneurial. I did things, but when I knew that being alone and raising them, that I wasn't going to be able to give them the things that I could or should, I realized right away, I'm going to create a business so that that business could give me the freedom to go to all their baseball games, to be in every football thing, to cheer them on. Yeah, maybe I had to work through the night, the middle of the night stuff, but I got to leave when I needed to. I got to work my calendar. And you all are here because either you're already doing that or you want that. So I wanted to share, I never share about my family and my personal, that I wanted to do that today. The other thing I wanted to share is that this business that I've created around having the freedom to be anywhere in the world also allowed me to go to the Philippines, build a business there, and build an orphanage. And these are just some of the kids that still today that that are still my kids and still in the orphanage, and we take care of. And I wanted to share that because this is the type of impact and reach you can have if you go for it. If you let everything out, get all the obstacles out and go for it, and create the systems. I did this because I had systems. I could be anywhere and work my business anywhere because of systems. All right, so let's get to our purpose for today. And we're going to start with the end in mind. And so I'm going to help. I want to guide you to maximizing your impact, your income, and your freedom through the group coaching cohorts and leveraging technology. So we will talk about tech. And then I'm going to share some of those proven strategies and funnel creations so that you, if you're ready to launch your cohort or group coaching program, that you have the knowing and the ability to do that. All right, so let's get going. The power of coaching cohorts. Cohorts, they're a game changer, right? You can reach impact with bigger audience. I said that. People thrive in communities. Most people do better when they're in community. Most people will achieve more goals when they're doing it with other people. Sometimes it's because they see other people doing it, so it motivates them to step up into it. Some people, it's because they need the comfort and the support. Some people, it's because of all the question and answer. Oftentimes you get that one person. How many of you have been in like a cohort or a group coaching where that one person is always asking questions and you're like, oh my gosh, thank God they're in here because they're asking all those questions that I might not even know to ask. So you learn so much more in group coaching. People feel safe. People need structure and clarity. People tend to be more accountable in groups. And then also, usually when you're doing cohorts, there is an actionable goal at the end. There's a result or a goal or something. And so it's very clear when you can create that, that funnel, that process. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Technology being a secret weapon to streamline those things and to really help you scale your business to where you want. So I'm going to take a few minutes and share about. So I've had several businesses and I've partnered in the past with others, but in late January, I walked away. I've told the story before. I walked away from a multi-million-dollar deal because it was not an environment that I could sustain to be in anymore. It was extremely toxic. I was given 20% shares to go into this organization. So I put my business aside and went for 10 months, and it was supposed to stay there, and it got to the point where I was crying every night. I was so depressed. The values, I realized very quickly that the values of the company and some of the people there completely were unaligned with my values. And so I found myself crying almost every night, being miserable. But I kept thinking, like, this is the tool to get me to be able to build another orphanage, right? Because we're already making 3.5 million. This is gonna be easy. I could scale this to 6 million, so easy. But I was absolutely miserable, and my being was suffering so much. Look, you could hear it in my voice right now, that I decided to walk away. And yes, I was scared because I had closed most things down in my business to focus on this huge opportunity. But then the other thing was I knew, well, I know systems. I could put something up really quick. And at this point, we had been leveraging software. So Alejandra and I had a talk and we said, what is the one thing we would want to focus on? If we get to do a do-over, what was the one thing that we want to focus on? And we thought about, really heavily launching our VA service in the Philippines and the outsourcing for the big corporations again. And every time we did that, I got the same feelings that I got from, being in that other place, that I said no. And when we started talking about, what if we just help everyone else build what we've built? What if we help women? What if we help, you love the holistic wellness area and the practitioners. What if we went into that? And I just lit up. I mean, we were just like, that's it. So during February, and that was January, we got clear on what it was. We were going to now focus on software, and we have all the other stuff that we could add to, but we were going to focus on software. That was the end of January. In a week, the end of it, we were clear. In February, we spent the whole month, February, setting up our tech. So guys, even us who know tech, it takes time. So we spent the whole month dedicated to setting up all the tech. And then in March, we launched our founders launch. So March 1st, our irresistible offer was out. And then we opened the doors for 25 people. those 25 people, by the end of March, we hit $13,000 in revenue from our Founders March launch. From there, we reinvested that into being able to bring on a tech team and have the support we could use so that we could scale. Because if we had to do it all, trust me, we'd be bankrupt by now if it was just her and I, because we wouldn't be able to keep bringing in more clients. So anyway, so that's how we did that. And then what we did with that founders launch, and I'm going to show you a screenshot of the offers we gave at the time. We started to create our course content and we treated it like a cohort, right? Because the founders were the first 25 people. We held weekly calls with them to support them in building their system. So we found something that was, that was relatable to what we're doing. And then we started building the videos and creating the course library. And with that, in May, we opened up another cohort, and then in August, another cohort. And I'm proud to say that at this moment, just because we have other stuff in the business, but just with our 100K launch of Pipeliner, my notes aren't in front of me. I think we are at 78,000 to date. This is from March, so not even a full year. And we're projected, if we got no other client through the end of the year, we're projected to hit 120K with 3 openings, guys, right? So 3 cohorts. And this is a lot of work compared to what some of you may be doing. Some of you, we had to start from scratch, like scratch, like build the system out. The other thing is this was low ticket. So, the founders launch was $99 each person. And then the second launch was, I believe, $149. And then the third was anywhere from $179 to $199 a month. Now, what do you think this looks like if you're doing cohorts? People are paying $2,000, right? Or $1,500 for you for 2 months, and you have 20 people. You're going to easily get to 200,000-300,000, and even, growing and doing multiple cohorts, you could easily get to a 7-figure business if done right. With systems always, right? Because that's one of the things that's so important. So I wanted to share a screenshot of what we did on the founders, because we're going to talk about this, and I'll talk about it now more so than later. This was our founders launch. So we said, you're going to get every single piece of the CRM. I know it seems very overwhelming, but you're going to get it all, just in case one day you want to unlock one of the features. And our founder special also came with hundreds of templates. It came with the office hours. It came with the free community. We then gave them a bonus. We built their websites. We built an automation for them. I did some strategy business sessions with them, because when you're first launching, if you don't have the proof of concept right away on something, for me, and again, you could do this anyway, but for me, I felt like I had to really give a lot, because I wanted to get those 25 in on that first batch. 30 days, got 25 people without any heavy marketing. This is just reaching out to people. This is sending out a couple emails. This is messaging people on Facebook who might be interested in a software. And for you, it's whatever your program is. And I said, plus, I'm going to help you do this. Plus, I'm going to help you do this. Plus, I'm going to give you some strategy sessions. We're going to get on a call. I'm going to help you out. We're going to help you with your automations. And it was a no-brainer for people to say, like, if they were ready, it was a heck yes. And so when you're thinking, if this is your first launch, if it's not, you could consider it, but you may want to consider a founder's launch. And people really are drawn to that. And here's the other reason why I like founders launches, because you tell them, I don't have it all together. We're building this together. And your price will be locked in forever, but you are going to be on this journey with me. I'm going to unlock videos based on the things that you need, so it gives you a little more freedom and less stress to be able to, you don't have to have your course ready, is basically what I'm trying to say. You could go out there and every week create content based on the people. And one of the things I hear a lot from people is that I just do better one-on-one, or knowing I'm talking to someone. So I have a hard time building a course. Well, this is a great way to build your course, because you have the people, some of the things that, their pain points, you're asking them to comment and to give you feedback, and then you're creating more and more content with that. So founders launches are amazing to do. And And so what we're going to transition into the training. This is where the meat and potatoes will start to happen. But I really wanted to talk about first why and how, like why some people are struggling with being able to do this kind of business or even trying to get out of the one-on-one. But really, most of the time with everything, it's limiting beliefs of I'm not capable of doing it, or I don't know how, or they're really fearful of technology. I know as many people that I'm working with now are creatives, whether they're like, graphic artists or practitioners. We have a lot of practitioners, and I understand that is not the wheelhouse of a practitioner or of a creative person. And so tech can be a little overwhelming and scary. However, it is part of it if you want to grow, and anybody can learn some of it. You have two choices, right? To like break free of all those limiting beliefs and be able to say, I'm capable of learning this, but it's that will of wanting to learn it. And if you don't want to learn it, then it's the outsourcing, outsourcing it to someone that does know how to do those things for you, hiring a VA that can do those things for you. Those are really your two choices. Or doing it yourself, and most times, or get a system that has a lot of it in there, which is what we're going to show you today. But getting behind the fact that like business is complex, and unless you want to, if you're happy with where you are, and I want you to ask yourself this question right now, are you happy with where you and your practice is right now? And if you want, because let's just be accountable, put it in the chat. What are you not happy about? What could be different? What is it that you're not happy at? Is it that you don't have enough clients? Is it that you just get into that overwhelm cycle? Is it that you get blocked when you need to do technology? Is it that you don't know what to being out there and open about it? We all have our limiting beliefs. We all have at times different things that prevent us from getting to different areas. And I will tell you, I am as guilty as probably all of you all put together of going through things like that. We all go through it. And so what is it going to take for you to break through those limiting beliefs? Because that's all it is. I was not born knowing how to open a computer. There weren't even computers when I was born, right? So I wasn't handed an iPhone like kids have today. I just knew, like, I hated doing things manually. That was my drive to become tech efficient. I hated wasting my time because I would rather be feeding poor children or doing things at the church or being in activities on Skid Row than having to send manual emails out or having to send links to things. And so when you really think about, that growth mindset and where you want to be, you yourself can unlock these blocks and have the business you so desire and dream of. And fear is the biggest thing that we see right now, fear of technology. And so these are some of the things. And, I'll look at the chat after. I don't see it right now, but I'd love to see in the chat, do any of these resonate with any of you? And if not, put something in the chat. Heck no, I'm not fearful. I love tech. Or, are these some of the things that come to your mind? You're afraid you're going to break it. It's overwhelming. You don't have adequate support. It's too expensive. It's not for me. I don't have the resources. There's so many things that are said and thought that get in the way of everyone being able to do this. Everyone here is capable. I promise you that. As long as you can get these thoughts aside you and really start to embrace that mindset that it is possible, that you can build, you can build systems around you so that you can be successful. All right. So before we move on, I want y'all to take a deep breath, just really good deep breath. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing you can break. I just want to tell you that right now. And anything that can be broken, anything that gets broken can be unbroken. By the way, one of the reasons I got over my fear of breaking things is I literally went on a mission to try to break software. I did. I even did, bad me, and I think they changed it. Remember when they first came out with the screen protectors that they said you could not break them? I took a thing and I started jabbing it and I cracked it. And I told the guy, okay, I broke it. I broke my phone at the same time, but but I was like, oh, well, I'll just get another phone. So anyway, things, I had that mindset of, that I'm going to break it so that I could get over that fear of anything. And it was fixable, right? Everything is fixable. Okay, so now let's get into the training, the real training. How many of you are excited about building a cohort or a group coaching program? Who is ready to build that and get going? Yes, I love it. I see you all. Actually, I want to see everyone. How do I see everyone? Oh, well. Okay, so we're going to start with, oops. Okay, we're going to start with clarity of vision. So the first thing I want you to do is to really get clear on your why. I have a saying, if those of you that know me, I have a saying, your why must make you cry. Because if it doesn't, when things get rough, it is really hard to stay committed and to move forward if you can't pull yourself back into your why. That why must make you cry. What is the reason you want to do this cohort? I'm going to do everything around a cohort today, not just a business. So what is the skill, the knowledge, the expertise that you so desperately want to share with the world, and why? Why is it important? What are you going to help people overcome? How are you going to change the world or impact the world? What are you going to do that's going to be a game changer in your family's lives, in your lives, right? How are people's lives going to be because of the things that you are creating? Like, you have to see that through. You have to see the faces of the people that you've helped and seen them break through whatever's holding them back in order for you to really be able to, to really jump through any hoop that comes your way. What are your core motivations and your passions? Did you overcome something? Did you learn something that you want to share with the world because it changed your life? Really tying back into that. And the last thing I ask you is, why is this a must? If you don't put this out there to the world, at the end of your life, how will this be for you? What will you think? What will you feel? If you don't do it, what's going to happen? I just took somebody through a transformation to clarity session, and one of the things that made me and her cry, she says, if I don't, she has such a huge mission beyond so many things, and she's like, if I don't, I cease to exist. Woo! Like, that's how deep it has to be. Cease to exist, meaning like, then I was on this earth for nothing. Like, all of my suffering would have meant nothing for me to just take it with me to the grave. Oh, when we did that and she cleared that and we were able, wow, that's what you need to connect with. What's going to happen if you don't do this? You're going to take all this with you. And so with that said, let's start putting this together. Let's start really getting clear on what it is that you need to do. Number one is to understand your tribe, right? You need to understand who you want to serve. You hear this all the time. This is nothing new. I just want to bring it back. They say that before it would take us 7 times to hear something for it to stick. Now it's up in the 20s, 30s. So the more you hear it, the better it is. The demographic, the ideal, your ideal client, the pain points, and then how are you tailoring your approach to serve them? So who is this person that you serve? So I did this with my client the other day, and basically I had her name the person. What does she look like? What does she wear? Does she have a husband? Does she have children? What kind of issues does she have? What does she love to do? Where does she go? All that kind of stuff. What are her goals and aspirations and stuff like that? And to know that will help you build a better program for them. What is your unique expertise? Okay. What are you going to offer? What is the skill, the knowledge? What value or impact are you bringing in? So be clear about that, and then you'll be able to build around that. So some people are like, well, I teach health coaching. Okay. Is that clear enough to help you build a program around health coaching? Or is it specifically around helping people overturn diabetes or fibromyalgia or something like that? And then systems. So once you know those things, systems and software can be your enabler. Those two things, when I say systems, it's like a system could be anything. I say I have a system for my mindset before doing things. Just before I got on the call, I was jumping around, dancing, shaking, doing all this stuff so that I could show up for you. I call that a system. So system could be your course, your method, the way you do it, how you're going to do it. And then your software can enable you to be able to do it. So automations and technologies. That's the only reason I was able to scoot around everywhere I wanted, because in 2000, I think we started the transition in 2012 to be paperless, but by 2014, I was able to start shutting down the office. And in 2015, I was almost completely paperless, which back then in a healthcare and legal environment, that was almost impossible. And at the time I was helping other law practices and healthcare practices transition to paperless and EMR and EHR and all that kind of stuff. So we have a system pipeliner, which I know many of our pipeliners are here today. Woohoo! And so that we have not only all of the systems built in, many of them, but we've also created so many more automations and things for you to be able to build your cohorts out. Oh. I'm going to pause it. So I put a video in here because yesterday I was like sneaking away between, but the other reason you do systems and automation is because you have the freedom of being anywhere. And this week I happened to be in Daytona Beach Shores and be able to do this webinar from here. It's not my usual place or anything. And I just, at whatever moment I want to pick up and go, that's the joy. Or there's a meeting somewhere that I can go to, or I was connecting with family this last week and my brother and all these beautiful had that freedom without systems. That's just the bottom line. And without my software, absolutely not. All right, so let's talk about the 100K funnel strategy. What is it do you get to do to be able to have that impact, the income, and the freedom? Number one is creating a webinar, right? This is what we're teaching you here today, is how to use a webinar to sell and promote your cohorts or group coaching program. So number one is, what's your webinar topic and what day do you want to launch? Now, depending on where you are in the process, you want to at least give it 30 days from the time you start talking about your webinar. You can do it less if you have a big mailing list. If you followed this, we didn't do this in 30 days, so we don't have the huge attendance here, but I wanted to get this done before I start hitting the road and doing some other stuff. And we have so many people already that have joined that I wanted to record this to help everybody out there. So we went with a shorter launch, which is fine, but a month is really good if you have the time, so that you are promoting every single day your webinar for 2 weeks. And then I'll skip along. So, you want to promote a webinar for 2 weeks. You want to have your webinar topic and your date. You want to have a landing page. You'll want to, like I said, promote on social media. You'll want to send emails out to your existing email list. And then you also want to send personal invites and DMs and phone calls and reach out to affiliates and just see how many people you can get to come to your webinar. During the webinar, before the webinar, you're going to want to have an offer, right? So what's your offer? Your group cohort. You're going to, at that point, we've already had the clarity, right? If you follow how I'm walking you through this, you would already have been clear on what you're going to host a cohort for. And then create that irresistible offer. If it's your first one, you might want to do a founder special, like we said. And then you could also promote for the first X amount of people that come on. I'm going to give this away for, if you refer anyone, I'll add an extra, whatever it is. So think about that offer. I love, Hormozy, Alex Hormozy. He always says, like, what is it? Make them an offer they'd feel stupid to say no to. That's one of the things. Or they'd feel silly, I should say, to say no to. Unless you do, if you're here and you have a big following, then you might not need to do that. You may be able to just send an email out and you're following your email list. But if you don't have a huge email list, this is one of the strategies to start to build your email list. Even if they don't join your webinar, even if they don't come live to your webinar, they subscribed. You've now captured their email and you have the opportunity now to nurture them and to bring them on a journey with you. And then in your offer, you can include your weekly cohort and a course. So you could say, I'm going to be loading videos in there every week for you to have, and then you could create those every week. You don't have to have them right away, or you can do it ahead of time if that sounds stressful for you. And then you want to craft a convincing sales page, right? So you want to have a sales page ready that is going to list and have everything on your offer. So then you go live, you have your webinar, you host the webinar, you send everybody the replay. You make sure everybody that joined and signed up gets the replay. You, in the way we're doing it, we have a 2-week email campaign to sell the cohort. You can do it longer, you can do it shorter, that's all up to you. But we went with the 2-week. And because also, if you're ready to launch, it also creates a sense of urgency for people, right? 5 more days, 4 more days, closing the doors soon. So if anybody's on the fence, you're giving them a deadline versus I'll be starting at some point, right? You'll want to give them a deadline. And then you'll want to promote on social media as well. And then provide the continuous support. Like people are going to be asking questions. They might be DMing you about, oh, is there, when does it start? Even though it says when it starts and all that stuff. And so this is pretty much like a simple launch plan, really just crunched up into a checklist that you can do. Who feels like they could do something like this? Let's shout it out. Yes, put a 1 or put yes in the chat if you feel like this is something you could do and you want to do, because it is absolutely such an amazing way to increase your impact, your income, and your freedom. That's just the bottom line. Okay, so now we're going to transition to Pipeliner, which is the technology that we're using and how you can leverage Pipeliner to do this for you. Now, what we've done is we've designed and crafted already those landing pages. I have some wonderful stuff in store for all of you. We've already built out that landing page, the webinar page, the sales page. We've already built out the email templates that you can just go in there and change. We've got 20 templates from opening them into the cohort to sending them access to the Zoom webinar to 12 of them, 12, 10, or 11 promoting from the webinar to the cohort. We've also built a well-oiled machine for you all in terms of all the automations and the workflows that trigger all of these things to happen for you. And one of the things, this is a sample of just some of the 13 emails. I thought it was just 11. 13 emails that we've scripted out in the system so that you could just go in there and change it. And we put them in the way of how to do it. So if you want to take a screenshot, if you're not in Pipeliner, you're going to get this anyway. You don't have to take the screenshot. You can build these emails yourself. How do we do it? Email 1 says this, email 2 is about this. One of them is showing testimonies. Another is a frequently asked questions. One is talking about the community they're going to get. So these are all the emails that you could drip out every day from the date that you do the webinar. Now, I don't know, you're going to get a few of these from us from joining today, but we're not going to do the 10 because we're doing something a little different, but this is how we've built it for the majority of cohorts to do. And we're doing something a little bit different because we'll be showing you that in a minute. And it's going to be, there's not going to be as many people that are going to be it's not going to be as open for as many people versus where cohorts you're looking for large numbers of people. Okay, before I do that, I also want to show you. Look at there. I also want to show you some of the things that we built in here. And for those of you who are new to this, some of you may have seen this if you're already in the system. This is the webinar page that we've built. And all you need to do, all the colors and the fonts and everything could be changed all the way around. You put a date here when you're doing it. You put some information about yourself. You put some testimonials there, and you promote a webinar. Now, you could put a video in here. You could put a whole lot more information. But I'm telling you, if you're going to get on there and be seen and go on social media and email people, I mean, this is the easiest way to just free webinar, right? Promote a free webinar. So if you were in the Pipeliner system, you have access to this all these pages I'm about to show you. The next page we built is a thank you for registering. And like a lot of people register for things, but the conversion rate of them actually attending is low. So this is where the best strategy is for you to put a video there. If you don't have a video, you can remove this. You don't have to have a video, but this is a perfect place to like congratulate them or thank them for coming and to reiterate like a one-on-one and you telling them what it is you're going to cover in this webinar. How is this valuable to them? How is this going to help them? Like make it about them and create a little video that they'll be more excited about coming to your actual webinar. So this is included in there and it just has some information. Check your calendar, check your inbox, or add it to your calendar, check your inbox, some instructions, and you could add whatever other instructions you want to add as well. The next thing we have is once you are done with the webinar, all you need to do is plug in your links, upload the webinar, the replay, and then the automation is already set to go out within 24 hours. So before 24 hours, you want to get this in the system. And by the way, if you're not using Pipeliner, that's okay too, because you could either still do this manually, right? And just super simple, right? And just send it out. This could be a simple email that says, here's the replay, which maybe many of you are doing, but so this is that. And then the other thing is this is then the sales page that we built so that you can promote the cohort, the group coaching. And so in this, you change everything around. We did this one for a weight loss program. We had several clients wanting to launch a weight loss program. So we went ahead and built this. So all you would need to do is change the copy. Videos convert very well, or you can just put a picture there, whatever your comfort level is, but know that videos are going to convert much, much better. What can you expect? Laying down the expectations, the timer for when it's starting, this is what they call the bridge, where they are now and where they'll be after they take your course. So really think about how they're feeling now and how they're going to feel later. A section for you. This is if you want to line out what each week you're going to be covering. If you're not sure, you don't need to put this. You can put an overview over the next 16 weeks. We're going to cover, and you could bullet point, and it doesn't have to be by week. But the thing is even if you don't use this the first time, this is going to be so powerful after you launch your first one, because then the second one, you'll know what you covered during the weeks. And then you could then go in there and put this in. People tend to want to know what they're getting into 100%. They want to know. And that's the thing you want. If people aren't sure that they could commit to it, because I think many coaches oftentimes will hold back on telling them everything they're going to teach them because they're afraid that maybe they're going to look at that and feel overwhelmed and not joined. But the reality is you want them to see it up front, because you don't want churn. You don't want them to come in and say, this isn't for me, I want my money back. Or, you want them to be 100% upfront with what you're going to be showing them and what you're going to be doing, because then they decide their commitment level. Because it's not about money, right? It's also about the impact. And maybe they're going to decide, like, I don't want to know about those topics. Like, I don't align with those things. And so they'll have that opportunity to opt out now. And I've worked with a lot of coaches who have had people who were miserable in their programs, and it does not get pretty. They start really messing with everybody else in the place. So anyway, so then you want to put testimonials. And then what we did is also create like the offer. So that's something you will in Pipeliner, you go in and put the pricing and all of that. And then the template is here for it to just pull into the template on how much your cohort is going to be. And then we actually even left a section of, is this program right for you? And again, you could change if you have a different way of lighting this up. This could be a video, this could be anything. But really, you want to tell people if this is right for you. Another thing to add, which we didn't do in here, is who is this not good for? Oftentimes, that's really good to put that. I see that a lot. And like, for instance, when I do things with promoting our VA service or outsourcing, I'll say, well, it's not good for you if you're not ready to do some SOPs. If you're not ready to record videos and hand it over to the team, then this isn't going to work. Then you're not ready for this. So being clear with people, meeting them where they're at and knowing, letting them know that. But then what that also does, that transparency opens it up for them later on to be, hey, I'm ready now. Let me check if she's still doing that cohort, right? That you're going to be in the back of their mind. And not only that, but you're also planting the seeds for them for the stuff that they could be researching and doing and following you on. So this is the sales page that was created there. Then the order form. So this is also already in the Pipeliner system that we created. And so once they get here, they put in the credit card information. It's not showing because it's not an active cohort or an active landing page. And then lastly is the you're in page, welcome. You could have a welcome video. People really love those. You tell them check your email. You let them know this could be a really great place to say, these are the things you need to do to prepare. Maybe you're asking people to get a scale or clean out their cabinets or, whatever it is in this case. And so anyway, so you could send out this and then they also get emails. And so this is these are the landing pages I was talking about. These are the different things that either you can prepare and, you could start from scratch and do this. You can do this on any platform. We've just included it in our platform for you and built this out for you. So I'm going to oh, hold on. Let me go back and share. Where were we? My presentation. Ooh, how do I get to represent now? Uh-oh. Okay, perfect. I thought I was going to start from scratch. So today, what we are offering today is we've lost our mind again and doing something absolutely crazy again because it was because of our founders special and the people and the 2 cohorts we brought in afterwards that moved us towards building out this entire system that's going to help so many people create the freedom. And if you're an existing client, you have already everything the Pipeliner has, the unlimited. In this case, today's special offer, you're getting, if you're new and you're just seeing this for the first time, or you still haven't signed up, or you're coming back, you get the first month for $97. It is going up to $297. So even the regular price is $149 right now. You'll get it for $97 the first month while you build. But on October 24th, the price is going up to $297. We've already decided. So you will also get a one-on-one tech setup call. So one-on-one, someone from my team is going to sit with you and help you get all the tech set up. We have a weekly office hours. We have a digital blueprint course. It's actually, I'm going to call it something else. But for those of you who are already Pipeliner clients, you are going to be able to attend this. We're going to do a 4-week, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. We're going to do a 4-week cohort and there'll be a course in the back end with videos to help you launch your cohort. End of story. Like, we're going to make it, we gave you the system, right? The system's there. That digital blueprint is there. You have the platform to do this. But now anyone coming on and anyone who's existing is going to be able to come in for that 4-week once a week. Get down, get dirty, roll up the sleeves, get to business, build your cohort out with us. And so I'm really excited about doing this. This will be the only time I do this for free. The next time I'm going to be charging for that cohort. So that's why I said there's not going to be a whole lot of like promo to sell that, because I'm doing it for free. But after this, it's definitely. And so the other thing is, this is your opportunity. If you know anybody that's been a coach that has this, to go out there and have them come in now, because they're going to be able to join you and do it with you. We know that we do things better in community, and we want, we want 100 cohorts launched by all of our, whoever wants to do it, that is, within the next couple months. I would love to see that. That is our goal, to help 100 cohorts get up and launched in the next, 3 months at least. The other thing we're going to do is, you have tech support, 24/7 tech support, and hundreds of templates. Everybody has those templates. But I have a bonus for everyone. And I really thought hard about this one. And I wanted to make it, this is exactly what I'm telling you to do. Do something that people are going to find they're going to find it hard to say no to. A lot of you here are already clients of mine, which is amazing. So I want you to copy this and do this if this feels good. And those of you who aren't, copy it. But we're offering an additional 60-minute systems one-on-one call. We haven't done that since our founders launch. And that's the $150 value. We're offering 2 success calls with me, which at the beginning, I only did 1. So now we've even done more. I'm also offering for anyone who really wants to go through and feels like they have blocks or breakthrough and needs the help. It's anywhere from like 60 minutes to 3 hours sometimes. It just depends, until I could help them break through and really align with their goal moving forward. I'm throwing that in for anyone that wants that. And then we're even throwing in, we've never done this, a tech check. So set up, you can email us, and my tech team is going to go through and just double check everything to make sure it's working for you before you launch officially. What I'm going to do for those of you who have already been on here, if you refer one person, you get all this too. That's it, right? Because you've all come in on different offers and all this kind of stuff. I want to help you build, do all this too. And many of you have already had some of those calls and system calls, but just refer at least one person and you can have this with them as well. And so Alejandra will be putting the link here. I'm ready to open up for questions and stuff, but I just want to ask you, who's ready to start building their cohorts after this? Do you feel better about doing it? Are you ready to do it? And then I blocked out 90 minutes. So I have 30 minutes to just get into question and answer, and really, instead of just talking, really being able to help everyone out. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to spotlight. All right. Beautiful. Anyone? So Alejandra just put the link in there. I have some hands up. Awesome. Ariel. Hi, honey.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
This is awesome. It's really helpful to see you go through everything. So thank you. Yeah, I'm curious when the 4-week training will be. Yeah, for launching cohorts.
Yeah, we are, hold on, let me see. We said we are starting, Alejandra, remind me, is it next week? We're going fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, next week. Whoever wants to, we're going to start it next week. Things will get recorded as well, but we figure if you're ready to start, I'm one of those girls. Let's get in and get dirty. Let's get to work and do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I haven't decided the time yet. What I would like to do, that's why I also put a 72 hour thing, because since we're going to do it next week, I really want to get everybody in and knowing, those of you who are already part of Pipeliner will send an email and kind of get a good time frame from everyone. It's really hard to meet everybody's needs. I go with the majority, but we'll wait for 72 hours to see if anybody new comes in, 72, 48 hours, I can't remember. And then we'll send out a survey and see what day and time works for the majority.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hi, Jillian.
Hey, thank you. For those of us that are in Pipeliner but have not or perhaps have started, how do we schedule that initial call? Because I have had like the quick kind of onboarding call, I guess you would call it, but I haven't actually started anything.
Yeah, Alejandra will send you a link.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And really quick, I do want to tell you, if you're on this call and haven't really set things up, I want you to chat with Alejandra right now and get the link. We're going to help you get onboarded. Let's or get your tech. Like, I don't want to leave anyone behind. We are running fast. I mean, we're moving forward, right? Because we launched back in March, but let's help you get to where you need. And so let's get you on a call and get that set up. We're offering that for you to help you. Kelly. Oh, is she there?
I am. I'm just trying to click a bunch of buttons. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's kind of light, but I'll listen in.
Okay, I'm on my headset, so it sometimes doesn't work best. But anyway, I just want to make sure. So I am Pipeliner. I'm paying the $179 a month for Pipeliner. I paid the $700 to set up my website and my funnels. I have everything I need, right? Like the cohorts we're talking about. I have the cohorts through the institute, so
Yep.
I'm good, right?
You're good.
Set up my appointments and get going.
Absolutely. You came in on one of our very amazing offers, which we don't have anymore now. Now that same offer is 1,500. So get all of you who, came in early during that different offer, definitely get in and get your website scheduled. Luckily we had a bunch of people at the same time come in, but luckily not everybody came in for the website. So now we're freeing up some time. So now's the perfect time to get and for those of you who are new here, we also have a team that can help transfer your website from somewhere else, transfer your automations. I didn't do the full CRM one. I wanted to focus today on the cohorts and that, but I will spend a little time talking about what else it has right now. Number one is all those email automations, but we also have the social media automations. So if any of you are familiar with ManyChat, we have it inside of Pipeliner. And so we're giving you social media chats. Like for instance, if you go to my Instagram right now and DM me 100K, you're going to get a link for today's webinar or something like that, whatever I was promoting before without me even doing it. So, and then if somebody comments 100K on my post, you'll get a link for like the one that you got originally to come to this webinar. So those are all inside yours. And we have videos to show you how to set those up. So let's say yours is going to be webinar or cohort. You don't have to be the one to send the link out all the time. You can also do that with text messaging. You could have people text you webinar, and then it could go out if you've enabled the text messaging feature inside. The other thing, let me think, what else do we have in there? We have landing pages. Well, you saw those, but we have so many more. Alejandra, what am I missing that might be good for everyone? And I'm going to go through the chat too to make sure I didn't miss anything. And definitely raise your hand if you have any other questions.
Thank you. This has been helpful. I need to just get going. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
This is great.
Awesome. I'm so excited for you. Let me see if I have, depends on, okay, Alejandra's answering questions, so I don't need to. You can use this system, not just for cohorts. So let's go into the business aspect of it. Scheduling. You don't need Calendly anymore because it has the integrated calendars already. So you can book free calls or paid calls. So you could have where, let's say if you're, practitioner or consultant or strategist, whatever it is your business is, you could have like a free 15-minute call, or they find their slot and they get automatically diverted to put a payment in. There's an app for you to manage your leads and contacts that also comes with it. And so I love it. I'm always looking at my, who's coming in, the messages. I can respond. You can integrate your social media with it. So your DMs can come into the CRM so that you can respond also on your, without, the nice thing is doing that. You can create the automations, but if you don't have an automation for something, then you could just do a quick response. If you have a brick and mortar, I don't know if we have any of those here, or if any of you are considering integrating like a Google My Business, which I know they just changed the name to something else, but and reviews, like if you want Google reviews, you can integrate that whole thing. You could create an automation that once like 2 hours after your appointment or the service you deliver, send them a link to give you a Google review. Like it's just, and then it could like really help you build up your pages on Google. Sonia, you have a question or you have your hand up.
I do. So if we already have Pipeliner, do we already have all these automations in there? Because like I feel like I'm a tiny bit behind with the whole Pipeliner setup, and that's really what I want is like those automations. So that's already included.
Absolutely. We are including everything that we're building, everyone. We are at 96 users since March. And we're pre-launch. We didn't officially do a launch yet. So October 24th is our official launch date. And on that day, the price is going to go up and there's going to be different levels. So everyone up until our 100th, or maybe we do it up until that date, gets everything. So all the automations we've built after that, it's not going to be included. It's going to be extra. So Sonia, you have everything.
Okay. And that's all like in the group or somewhere where I can learn how to do that in the videos.
In the portal. If you go to portal.pipeliner.io, Alejandra can send the link. And then if you haven't signed up for the portal, there's, I think, the other thing we offer, if anybody, this is a good reminder, we actually have 24/7 chat support. I mean, 24/7, Sunday at midnight, we have chat support available for you. It is a bot at the beginning, but you can bypass it and just type in agent and it'll get a live agent on the chat with you. You can ask them any question about the system. Now, they're not going to know specific things to your business, right? Make sure it's to the system. And most of the time, if it's not something simple, they just say, here, do this, do that. They create a Loom video for you and send you a video showing it to you on your account. So, I mean, you have people to help you all the time in there. We also have what we call Pipeliner University with hundreds of articles on things to do. If you're more of I want to read something, we've got lots of articles in there. And if you're not sure what articles, you could use chat support to say, I'm trying to do this. Can you tell me which article it is? And if it's kind of complicated, they will get on a Zoom call with you. So you can request to get on a Zoom call. So I know a lot of people feel stuck sometimes, but you don't have to be because you have a little button at the bottom to get 24/7 chat support. We're making it as easy as we can for everyone. Oh yeah, I'd love to hear what you all have thought. The chat support has been amazing. Oh, that's awesome. I am so excited. I hope everybody got to see that. What was I going to say? Oh, think about when you're working with, whenever you get frustrated or you're not sure something's working. Another thing I do, and I tell everyone to do, is I'll copy the link and I'll tell them, hey, can you check this automation for me and check and see if it's working? Like that simple. Or I was working on my own thing this weekend because usually I have my team do it for me and they're off on weekends. So I was working on a social media automation and I wasn't sure. So I just got on there and I'd asked the guy, can you check, did I do this right? And he actually gave me advice on how I could do it better. And I was like, score, like I wouldn't have even known. And then there was a new update that came out and I was able to, get an even better automation because of the support. They are great. Thank you, Jessica. I know I've had such great feedback, which is amazing. All right. Any other questions or anything I could help you with? I think Alejandra's got the questions if I didn't capture. So next steps, right? I love to have next steps. Number one, get clear on what type of cohort, what type of group coaching. By the way, you could also use this strategy for a course, like a course that's not live, like you already put everything together. It's the same thing. This is one of the many strategies that we will be teaching over, like after we launch this with everyone, probably the beginning of next year, we'll teach a whole different type of strategy, a different one to help also in promoting. So you can host a webinar to talk about whatever it is that course is. Because the thing is you want to get many people in, as many as you can. And then one of the things that I'm going to do with this video today is we're going to have some emails going out. And because I have a team, not everybody has a team, I'm going to be hosting watch parties, live watch parties once a week for anybody that wants to come in and watch this. My team will be there to answer questions, and then I'll pop in at the end and do a question and answer. I mean, isn't that awesome? Like, it's already recorded, so you could use your webinar, play the webinar there, sit it aside, and come back in 45 minutes and answer all the questions. That's a pretty fun, cool strategy. I think that's Jessica. Let me put my glasses on. Yes, Jessica.
Hi there.
Hi.
So I am right there on the precipice of putting it out there, and I am a little bit confused. I I tell people about my cohort first, or do I tell people about the webinar for the cohort first?
Webinar.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yep. Because you want to, especially if it's a bigger ticket item, right? If it's 1,500, 2,000, people will come to a free webinar, and that's where you're going to shine. You're going to teach a small portion or do an outline, right? Like, for instance, all of you could literally, if you weren't on this, anybody could take the outline I gave and go launch this. I'm not keeping any secrets. This is how we did it. But do they want a system and a group and a community to do it? Then they can come join me. And so that's the beauty of this, right? In your webinar, you are sharing your skills and knowledge, and then telling them to come on the journey with me, that I can help you here together.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andrea?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, perfect. I can't hear you though, that's so strange. Okay, so for the cohorts, and you're going to be leading the trainings, if you get those automatically if you're already in Pipeliner?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. And then so for those, and are you going to be helping us like work, like we be creating it as we go through the trainings, and then have questions and kind of come on that way, like the same way we did with the onboarding process?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll have some videos in a course for you guys to pre-watch. And we'll keep them very we're going to try to make it so clear, so basic, right? That either that way for the beginner that can get it, or whatever, you could speed through it if you're not sure. And then each week will be a topic, like, week one of the weeks is going to be like getting your client avatar together and your offer together and that. And then, one week will be in setting up all the automations and doing the tech stuff. And then one week will be in, actually launching and clicking that button and doing the promotion. So it's 4 weeks that we'll have videos, and then we'll have a live.
Okay, perfect. So we can, when we're actually live, we can talk about like specific things to like what we're doing as we're building out our cohorts in our Pipeliner, right? Is that correct?
It's going to be dependent on the time and who comes in first to ask questions. So here's what I say: be the first one in line. Ask Jessica. she's one of our golden child.
Okay.
So you're there first, and your questions are there. If we run out of time, we're going to try. We usually stay over, but I just don't want to overcommit. Just in case.
Okay, perfect. And then are you going to be working, like, for example, with Carrie's for the weight loss? Will we be working in that capacity to understand like how to do that, like transfer that over to our own cohort?
So all of that is in Pipeliner. What
Right.
we'll be walking you through is how to modify it and actually put it together in your own
Implement it.
to implement. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. That's what I was kind of wondering. Okay, so that will help. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. All right. Is anyone on here that wants to share a success story with Pipeliner? I don't know if we have, and how some of these things have helped so far, what we've built. I'm not sure. I know I'm putting people on the spot, but probably mostly are probably our clients who are ready to start building, not the ones that have already built. But if anyone does, Jessica, yes, let's go.
I will. I'm a founding member, and it has just been, I'm a little bit tech savvy, but it has just been a really user-friendly platform. It's just been a pretty smooth transition. Finally, have a presence out there with the website. I had a lot of stress with another website for years, and it's just all that stress melted away when I was just able to, you know, get all these things in one place and have people be able to, schedule and pay. It's been really nice to have people pay beforehand. And then that's just like, if they cancel, then it doesn't equal you not getting paid. There's just a lot of little pieces that have added up to big pieces in this whole new platform. And I do have my first cohort ready to put out. And I seriously don't think I would be doing that today if without this platform and without the support of your and Alejandra's help. And, we all help each other too, and in our little groups. But yeah, it's been pretty smooth. I've been trying to put this cohort out since the February 1st. So it's been like a long time coming. And even though I have changed cohorts now, it's all just about the process, right? And just getting the process out there, because I have lots of classes. And so I'm about to add all my programs. Yeah, I'm just loving the platform. It's making my life easier. And just to be able to send someone there, send them a link, like it's a dream come true. And so, yeah, I've been able to just kind of minimize all these different things, have it all in one place. I was right there about to start paying for the mighty networks. And then, again, that's like 50 to 90 a month per cohort. And so, it's kind of a no-brainer that you can do all these things. You can make all these funnels. You can make as many websites as you want. And there's just the templates. I got my first newsletter out yesterday. First newsletter in 15 years, and so it's just like it's been really empowering to have the tools to do it myself. And so I'm not just having to rely on someone else. I'm always learning. And that's been the best part, I think, is that it's all been just really easy to learn what I need to do. And the support is great when you can't figure it out, and they help you learn it more. So yeah, I'm going to make you a testimonial, official testimonial, because I'm just thrilled. I've already been sharing my affiliate code with several people because they're noticing that I have this beautiful website now. And yeah, so it's just been really fun to have this kind of presence out there in the world that I can build off of. So
Oh,
thank
thank you. And look at that. Thanks and for sharing. It's very encouraging. I just saw something that said that you're inspiring them, an inspiration. Like that is, yeah, encouraging. This is it, guys. It does. It takes some work, but when you can use systems to give you that freedom to, Jessica's talking about before, not being able to just send links, or probably chasing people down for payments instead of like, here's my link, pay, join me. Here's the event, here's this, here's that. It just makes it so much easier. So I just want to congratulate you so much. You've just, from day one to now, you are like a whole other person.
And I have my first person about to buy their first cohort. So yeah,
Woohoo!
I
Well,
just
I'm
sent
so
her.
excited.
She's a client from years and years and years. And so yeah, she's been waiting for me to put whatever out. And she's hopping on paying today through the link. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Amazing. We had our first, the first cohort that launched. She already has 2 people signed up. She launched a week or 2 ago. So you're right behind her. And we have somebody else that just did their webinar Saturday. So we'll track how she does. So we're just going to keep on. And then once you do, I want you all to share that with me so I could share it out there with everyone. I definitely share your links and help to promote everyone. Amazing. Thank you, Jessica. We have some more questions. Let's see. Jalen?
Hi.
Hi.
So first, congratulations, Jessica. You inspire me. I've been trying to build out my website since I guess I bought this program. I was a founding member as well. And I still haven't launched my website because I'm getting stuck on maybe it's perfectionism or design. I have no idea what I'm doing, basically. How do you get past that? Anybody have any input?
Let me tell you what I tell everyone, and hopefully this sticks with all of you. Done is better than perfect. I'm a recovering perfectionist. Did you see there was typos on my slide? I was like, I needed to get this done in like short amount of time. I wanted to. I was here inspired. So just get something out there and then fix it up later. The thing is it's either you're not seen or you're seen and maybe it's not perfect. Big D. People aren't looking for perfect. People are looking for you, or they're waiting for you. They don't even know how to look for you because they can't find you. So get something up there, even if it's simple. The webinar page, the sales page we did, Alejandra just finished it a little while ago. It's simple. People don't like complex. Let's just do it.
Thanks, bunch.
Yeah, the world needs to see you, hear you, all of it. Andrea, did you have another question? Okay.
Yes. Hi. Okay. So I think I saw something either on Facebook that you are going to build out more payment platforms. I know it's PayPal right now and Stripe. What are the other ones that you're thinking about adding in?
Oh, they're already there. Alejandra, can you
Oh,
speak to that? Which are the ones that were added? Is she still here? I think it's Square Payments. If you go to the integrations, yeah, Square's been added.
Square's been added. Okay. And will there be more coming soon or just Square?
Right now, just Square. And no, there's like 2 other ones in there. If you go to automations, Alejandro, where do they go to see that? Actually, I'll have her message you that way.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Hi, Christina.
Hey, sorry I can't be on camera right now.
That's okay.
I was curious if you have a different program, say I'm wanting to have my own program integrated into Pipeliner, what would be the advantage of doing that? So what I'm understanding is that if I were to run a webinar, that it would have the email sequence already set up for that. And if I was running my own program and not a pre-built cohort, I'm trying to figure out like what would be the advantage of having that. Like, is it because it's like sequenced in such a way, like the funnel is sequenced in a way that says, hey, do this first, do this next?
Yeah, so what it is we've built it all out for you. It would cost any one individual around $5,000 to get built out what we built. Like if you were to hire someone to build out the funnels, it's 2 funnels, 2 landing pages, all the automations. So what I didn't go into all the full details of how the whole thing works. So some of the things that happens is, so you have the webinar, and then all you have to do, I mean, I say all, but there are things you have to set it up, right? That's why we're going to spend some time setting it up. Once things are set up, then all you do is put the replay, the system will automatically send it out to everyone. And then the system will automatically send, once you've approved your emails and said, yep, these can go live, the system will know every day for the next 2 weeks to send the emails that are in there. So everything's already pre-built. All you got to go is go live, and then it'll send it on, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, all the emails. Then when people subscribe at any point during that time where you're selling from webinar to the actual cohort, if they purchase, it moves them out of that automation. You don't need to worry about that. Once they purchase, it moves them into something else so that only the people who haven't purchased continue to get those emails. Then part of the automation is a week before the cohort starts, it sends them automatically an email and unlocks the community for them. And then I think, and you could change the dates. We also have an automation that opens up the course for them like a couple days before, or can't remember what day, but we've built that all out. So all you need to do is put in the date your cohort's opening, and everything is built around automating all of that for you. And then those are the main things. Ale, if I missed anything, you can come off. So basically, for us, it's the automations and the workflows that's the glue to everything. So we've done that part. So now you show up, right? You get to show up and not worry. If somebody decides to purchase at any time, you don't have to do anything. It's just doing it all, sending them the emails, doing everything for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And so like if I've gotten through the webinar and they're now signed up, as far as setting up my own program, like, you know, in week 1, I'm going to drip this 2 days later. The next thing's going to come out the next day. Though that automation I would need to set up
You would
inside
just,
the program.
yeah. You would just need to put your content in the course and then tell it how to drip it out. But you can, so we've created all those automations. You can connect it with whatever course you're putting in there. It doesn't have to be one that's actually, yeah, doesn't have to be anyone that pre-built. So if like you didn't get the pre-built ones, that doesn't matter. Because all it is, it's almost like in the automations, you would just then select whichever one you have, whatever course you have in there already.
And if you're looking at a cohort that Carrie has given and it's already preloaded, is there a way to have access to the templates like through Canva? Like say maybe you're wanting to change things and maybe, you know, one of the templates that were created is not something that's, you know, is maybe your style, or maybe you do it a little differently. Is there a way to change those templates, or do you just have to create your own?
You would just change them inside Pipeliner, because the email templates, you can change the colors, the fonts, the images, all of that stuff. The cohorts, the course, you can put whatever images you want. So you would just go in there and change it. Like you can create your own canvas and then load them in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You are welcome. All right. Did any question get left unanswered? I know Alejandro was running that, so I didn't. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Yes, I see a lot of yeses, though. I see a lot of yeses. All right, so who's committing to getting and starting the cohort process next week with us? Woo, woo, woo. Or whatever you're going to link it to. Course, doesn't matter. And then if you want to invite a friend, we'd love you to share this with them. We want to reach at least 100. We're very short of it, so we've got a milestone before we up the price. So that way, if you want anybody to get in and join us now, it's still at a really great price. All right. Oh, did somebody say something? No. Okay. Well, everyone has the link. Thank you so much. I know your time is so valuable. I hope that we were able to provide value and, give you another idea or another way to do something. And then hopefully also be able to show you different types of systems to be able to make it happen. So look forward to seeing you all in the Pipeliner community, and reach out to us if you have any questions. And God bless everyone. Have a good one. Bye.